Hey Brian, this is Mike. We're going to go ahead and get right into it here. We're looking at your face-on view because I think we're going to get the most from looking at this angle. So you've got a really good grip, nice setup, good straight line with your left arm and the golf club. I would like to see your ball position. It looks a little bit far back to me. You've kind of got it in line with your sternum here. And, for an iron shot, you want it off of your heart. And for a wood, you kind of want it off of your left shoulder, your left heel, somewhere in there. So this looks a little bit too far back, and it kind of leads to some other things. So we're going to take you through your swing here. I've drawn a circle around your head, and you're going to be able to watch the effect of A, the ball being too far back, and B, you not stretching that left lat like we talked about. This is one of the earlier swings before you were trying to really stretch that left lat. And you can see here, your head does a nice job of staying in the box on the way back. And then as you get down, so you have, let me step this back here. You've loaded pretty well into your right side. I would like to see your chest move a little bit more this way on the way back as you stretch that left lat. I would, ideally like to see this thing really flexed. So you can tell that it's doing some work, because that is going to be your lever on the way down. You're going to be pulling the golf club down with your left lat as you're driving your legs. That's going to be where you're going to get your separation and your power from. So as we take you into the downswing here, you haven't quite created as much room as we'd like to see. I'd like to see that left lat stretched and your chest a little bit more over your right knee. And the problem on your downswing here would be eliminated. So as we go into the downswing, this looks pretty good, but you're pretty far ahead of the golf ball here just because you didn't get loaded behind it, and the ball's too far back in your stance. So the only thing you can do is kind of fall back on it. So if you watch your head coming down into impact, it moves backwards, so it's behind where it started at address, and the club is coming pretty far from the inside, so you have to use your hands a lot. That looks like a pretty good impact position. The problem is, to get there, you're throwing the golf club at the golf ball. So as we take you through into the follow-through, it becomes pretty evident as we're halfway into the follow-through. I mean, you can see right here, that should be more or less a straight line if you were releasing the golf club properly. And you can tell you've kind of had to fall back on it and flip at it with your hands. So, that's just going to create a lot of control issues when you're off. This move will work quite often, but when you're off, because you're using your hands so excessively, it's going to get a little wild on you. I mean, you can see here, that is good and, manipulated on the way through. You are really using your hands to flip at it. I'm going to compare you to Rory McIlroy here. I can't find Kevin Kisner, but I'm going to compare you to Rory McIlroy so you can kind of see the difference in what I'm talking about here. So here's Rory, and honestly, he's actually got the ball a little far back in his stance as well. But you can see as he moves into the backswing, you see how hard this lat is stretched on the way back. I mean, that thing is doing work, and he's got that club well out in front of his chest. We're going to take you into your backswing here and compare the two positions. So right about there, you're in about the same spot. You can just see it looks like the club is pushed a lot further away from him. Yours looks a little bit dragged behind you, and it's not quite in front of your chest, and you haven't moved your chest kind of towards your right leg as much as we'd like to see. You're kind of leaning almost into your left side a little bit. You can see how flexed your left knee is, whereas Rory's is much straighter because he's loading into his right side. So I would really like to see you stretch behind the golf ball like Rory is here, and you can watch Rory into the downswing. He gets to roughly the same impact position you were at, but as he goes through and he's got it halfway into the follow-through, let me step it forward. There he is halfway into the follow-through. I mean, you can see that is all but a straight line there. And once again, we'll take yours into the follow-through, and that is significantly more flip. I mean, you can see that's not nearly a straight line. And I really think that it's because you're not loading enough behind the golf ball on the way back. So do your best to move that ball a little bit up in your stance, stretch that lat as hard as you can on the way back, and give yourself some room to push into your left side. Hope that helps, man.